baseball was played. It seems like only yesterday. I often think of a time when Roy, Gil, and Jackie were in their prime. Oh, there's something missing now.
The lid's off on baseball. At Tucson, Arizona, Hank Greenberg and Al Lopez get the Indians on the training warpath. Al Rosen's bat speaks eloquently to Jim Busby, who comes to the tribe in the Dobie deal. The Indians came close last season. Big Mike Garcia and others on the pitching staff look for better things. Sal Magley, one-time Giant, wants to help him hit the top this year. Could be a close shave, eh, Sal? Herb Score hopes to repeat a brilliant freshman year, avoid a sophomore jinx. It's a relief to manager Lopez to have the relief twins, Mossy and Naleski, back on the job. Bob Lemon, 18-10 last year, will also have the backing of the catching staff headed by Jim Hegan. Yes, sir, spring is here, baseball's on the way, and here come the Indians. Connie Mack is dead at 93. The grand old man of baseball who was born Cornelius McGillicuddy spent 70 years in the sport as player, manager, and executive. He served half a century as manager of the then Philadelphia Athletics, led his team to 5 world championships. He stepped down in 1950. In the words of President Eisenhower, Connie Mack will long be remembered for the inspiration he gave American youth as a leader in the most American of sports. Now he joins the ranks of baseball's immortals. Connie Mack, American. When the Yankees run, spring is here. Also Casey Stengel, right on the heels of his Warriors, reporting for spring training in St. Petersburg, Florida. Old Case feels pretty good about things. For example, Tommy Byrne, who helped the Yankees to the pennant last year. And the acquisition of Maury McDermott from Washington strengthens the pitching staff and makes Mr. Stengel even happier. Yogi Berra is inclined to agree with Casey as Hank Bauer and Bomber bats burst into melodious sound in training camp. Joe Collins puts first things first, as Phil Rizzuto looks hopeful. Could be the old professor is right. McDougal and Mandel and all could do it again. Baseball fans who are Giant fans turn out to see how Bill Rigney's making out with the Giants. How's Bill feel? Optimistic. On first, he has Whitey Lockman, first of all, and manager Rigney is high on his hurlers, too. Johnny Antonelli ought to win more and lose less in Bill's book. And Hoyt Wilhelm looks as sharp as he did 2 years ago when the Giants won the pennant. Such optimism is catching. Wes Westrum's caught it. Johnny Mize is back as a coach, and if he can teach the way he could hit, boy. Well, the Polo Grounders are in shape. Al Dark looks his old self up there, ditto Dusty Rhodes, and the one and only Willie Mays. Optimism it is. Nostalgia rules the roost at Yankee Stadium as former favorites of yesteryear return for 2 innings of baseball on Old Timers Day. Yankees versus White Sox, and here are former White Sox stars, including Ed Walsh, Red Faber, Dick Kerr, Ray Schalk, Muddy Rule, Lou Fonseca, and other one-time greats. Yankee manager Casey Stengel poses with ex-Yankee star Home Run Baker. Pictures galore of yesterday's big names galore. Benny Bengaugh and Red Rolfe flanking Home Run Baker, and other Yankee old-timers like Lefty Gomez and Charlie Keller. Seems like only yesterday, with yesterday's heroes like Joe Dugan, Leo DeRocha, and George Sternweiss back in Yankee uniforms. Earl Coombs and Bob Shockey also back for a drama-packed reunion that saw the Yankee old-timers top their ancient rivals 4-1. There were timely hits and good plays, and warm applause for Mrs. Gehrig, widow of the immortal Lou. It was a day of memory and a day for laughs, too, with Al Schacht cast in the role of umpire. Baseball's Clown Prince is no respecter of nostalgia or tradition, and he pitches into Joe DiMaggio in no uncertain terms. Whatever the pitch was, everybody had a ball. It's the Yankees versus the Dodgers at Ebbets Field in Brooklyn, and President Eisenhower joins 34,000 other baseball fans for the opening game of the World Series. The president's arrival is the signal for a big ovation from the crowd. Out to see those World Series Monopoly boys, the Brooks and the Yanks have at it again. It's a big day all around as first the Dodgers and then their perennial fall rivals, the Yankees, are introduced to the president. The American League champs are favored as right-hander Ike tosses to Dodger catcher Roy Campanella. But the presidential favorite right now is Campy, who returns the ball to Mr. Eisenhower. So the stage is set. Yanks versus Dodgers, their 7th meeting in 15 years. Pitching for Brooklyn is the comeback guy of the year, Sal Magley. But in the first inning, Sal runs into trouble. Slaughter gets a scratch single off the glove of Gil Hodges. No play at first, and Mickey Mantle is the next batter. There it goes, a home run for the Junior Circuit's Triple Crown winner. It's Mickey's 6th World Series home run. And here comes Slaughter home from third with the first run of the game. And behind him is the big bomber of the Bronx Bombers. That's the 4th home run Mantle has hit for the president this year. And the Yanks are off to a 2-0 lead. Whitey Ford is doing the chores for Casey Stengel. He survives the first inning when Pee Wee Reese, slicing one to the opposite field, is out on a great catch by Hank Bauer. Dodger rooters groan, but Jackie Robinson opens the Dodgers' second with a home run into the left field seats. The Brooks, who clinched the pennant on the final day of the season, beating out the Braves, are rough on lefties in their home park. And Jackie Robinson, long a spark plug for them bums, gets them off and running to prove how rough it can be. Hodges on first, still the second inning, call Furillo up. Furillo hits one in the hole in left center. It's a double for the Brooks right fielder, and Hodges races all the way home from first base to tie it up. Ford runs out of gas in the third. Reese singles, and then Duke Snider tees off on the little left-hander. Back-to-back singles. Ford gets Robinson to hit a fly ball, and the runners hold. But then Hodges lowers the boom with a home run. What a battle of homers this opening day is. It's Gil's 4th in World Series play. Reese comes in to score, and behind him is Snider, and behind him is the momentary favorite of the Flatbush faithful, Gil Hodges. 5-2, Brooklyn. The Yanks got a run in the 4th. The Dodgers opened it up to 6-3 in the 4th, and there it stood, with Magley still firing them in. 1 out, 1 on in the 9th. Mickey Mantle steps in. To Gilliam, to Reese, back to first for the double play. The Dodgers win it 6-3, and Sal Magley, the old cast-off, is the big hero in Brooklyn, USA. In an epic 7-game struggle, arch foes the Yankees and Dodgers battle for the World Series crown. Mickey Mantle climaxed a season in which he won the triple batting crown, while Yankee bad boy Don Larson made history in the 5th contest with the first no-hitter and perfect game in World Series history. One of the great thrills of the year, a year of enduring sports achievements everywhere, from Don Larson in Yankee Stadium to Australia. There's no tomorrow. This is Ebbets Field, Brooklyn. Today, the 7th game of the 1956 World Series. The Yanks and Dodgers go for keeps, with Don Newcomb on the mound for the defending world's champion Brooks. First inning, 1 on, 2 out. Yogi Berra up. Yogi's blast sails over the right field fence, and the Yanks are off and running. Hank Bauer comes in to score, and right behind him is the Yankees' great catcher, Yogi Berra. 2-0 New York. In the 3rd inning, Yogi connects again, his 2nd consecutive home run, and again with a man on base. In the 7th, with 2 on and first base open, strategy dictates giving Yogi a free pass, and the strategy backfires. Bases loaded, nobody out. Roger Craig is the Dodger pitcher, but not for long, as Bill Skowron steps in. There it goes. It's a grand slam home run for Skowron, and the Yankees' 2nd grand slammer of the series. Runs pour across home plate like water over a dam. First Martin, then Mantle, and then Berra come home to score, and Dodger fans are muttering about next year. This year belongs to Skowron and fellow Yankees. The Bronx Bombers really blitzed the Brooklyns to win back the title they lost to the Dodgers in last year's Fall Classic. 9-0 the score, and 23-year-old Johnny Cooks in his first series start shuts the door on the Dodgers. It's bolted and locked in the 9th when Cooks strikes out Jackie Robinson. Ferris toss to first is reflex action. Not necessary. It's all over as jubilant winners swarm all over Johnny Cooks, another Yankee hurler who came through when it was needed. He gave up only 3 hits. The Yankees are back on top. Their 6th world's title under Casey Stengel. Skowron, Cooks, Berra, heroes of the decisive game of the 1956 World Series.
I think it's time we bring the Dodgers back to Brooklyn. Bring them back. See the smiles returning to the faces. There'll be ticker tape to mark the celebration when the Dodgers come back home.
It's spring in Florida and spring training in Vero Beach, where the Brooklyn Dodgers are getting in shape for a crack at a 3rd straight pennant. Big Don Newcomb looks to another big year on the mound, and Carl Erskine hopes for bigger and better things. The pitching looks good, what with Sal Maglie retaining his mastery and added help from Fred Kipp up from Montreal. Don Zimmer and Charlie Neal give it double play, 2 platoon ideas to Walter Alston. If Campy's hand is okay, he's a cinch to help, as will an ever-youthful Pee Wee Reese. Visiting Japanese players agree with Walter O'Malley. The Dodgers will be the team to beat in the National League. Over at St. Petersburg, the Yanks are on the warpath. Looking for a pitching chance is Alva Sykot with Richmond last year. Bullet Bob Turley is no stranger in a Yankee uniform, but here are 2, Art Ditmar and Bobby Shantz, who came to the Bombers from Kansas City. Not help for Whitey Ford and company. A pennant is no sure thing, admits Casey Stengel, but he's trying. Gives Bill Skowron a try at 3rd base, a switch from 1st to 3rd. Casey isn't shifting Yogi anywhere, you can be sure, and in center field, who else but Mickey Mantle? His morale boosted by a nice raise. Yankee fans don't share Stengel's reticence. To them, it'll be a slaughter. They'll deny that in Tampa, where the White Sox are getting in trim to make it a real race in the American League this year. Minnie Minoso is one reason for Chicago optimism, and little Nellie Fox, here getting a big lift, should give the team a lift as always, a big little man. The Sox pitching looks good for the long stretch run. Billy Pierce is kingpin of the staff that Jim Wilson hopes to help out this year. Dick Donovan won 12 last year, and 15-game winner Jack Harshman also bolsters Sox chances. The Yanks can look to their laurels, say Larry Doby and Walt Dropo. Banner up! The Milwaukee Braves, determined to make it this year, take the field at Bradenton, Florida, under the watchful eyes of manager Fred Haney and the coaches. As Fred well remembers, it was close last year, too close. So Johnny Logan and Danny O'Connell and mates are wasting no time getting in shape. Rookie pitcher Juan Pizarro has stars in his eyes, as does Dick Grabowski up from Atlanta. Gene Connolly feels he'll find his old form this year, and Warren Spahn should be good for 20 games again this season. And if Bob Buell repeats, the Braves could avoid those weekend blues of last September. Bring on them bums is the cry.
It's Old Timers Day at Yankee Stadium, a salute to baseball's greats and near greats of yesteryear. 30 former Yankee stars include catchers Joe Glenn and Art Jorgens. And there's also Sam Bird, one-time outfielder back in uniform. Among the pitchers are Red Ruffing and Lefty Gomez. Home Run Baker and Joe DiMaggio give Mickey Mantle a few tips. Dizzy Dean viewed the game between former Tiger stars and former Yankees. There were 25 Detroit old-timers, including Mickey Cochran. Wahoo Sam Crawford, newly elected to the Hall of Fame. Ty Cobb, the Georgia Peach. Earl Coombs with manager Casey Stengel. Yesterday and today combined to strike a nostalgic note for America's favorite sport. It was a big hit.
It went into extra innings the night the Braves won the pennant. 2 out in the 11th. Logan on base. Hank Aaron steps in against the third Cardinal pitcher of the game, Billy Muffet. Here it comes. And there it goes. Hammer and Hank hits a home run, and this one is special. The Braves did it, clinched the pennant. They came close before, but this is it. The end of years of frustration. There's a mob scene on the field, and why not? Victory didn't come easy, and it came late, so it's extra welcome. Next stop, the World Series. Fred Hutchinson wishes Fred Haney good luck against the Yankees. At Ebbets Field, home of the ex-champs, Gil Hodges and 2 other Dodger players are honored in pre-game ceremonies by the National Conference of Christians and Jews. It's the last home game of the season and could be the last Dodger game at Ebbets Field. Roy Campanella may be wondering if the team will play in Los Angeles next year. Sandy Koufax is also honored as the Dodgers ponder a future without Brooklyn, and Brooklyn ponders a future without the Dodgers. Will it be California, here they come?
Once again, as it often is, Yankee Stadium is Mecca for baseball fans in the World Series. It's a bright, sparkling day in New York as 70,000 turn out for the opening game of the 1957 Classic between the Yankees and the Milwaukee Braves. Opposing managers Casey Stengel and Fred Haney pose amicably before the game, and the fans settle down for the traditional tossing of the ball. Legion Junior League star Freddie Fox does the honors, and now for the highlights of the opener. In the 5th, Warren Spahn pitching for the National League champs, facing Jerry Coleman. It's the second hit of the game for the Yankees second baseman. With 2 out, Hank Bauer steps in. It's a double to center past Hank Aaron, and by the time he gets it back to the infield, Coleman scores the first run of the game. Sixth inning, 1 out. Elston Howard stands in. And a single for the Yanks first baseman, and the perennial champs are making the odds look good. Yogi Berra works the count up, and then Spahn loses him. Yogi walks, and Howard takes second. Third baseman Andy Carey up next. Here comes Howard, and the Yankees lead 2-0. Warren Spahn, the veteran left-hander, is the ace of the Milwaukee mound staff, but the Yankees, many times world's champions, trumped him. Jerry Coleman faces the new Braves hurler, Ernie Johnson. The squeeze is on. Yogi scores, and it's 3-0. In the 7th, Whitey Ford pitches to Wes Covington. And it's a double into the left field corner. 2 out. Red Schoendienst stop. Schoendienst singles and Covington scores, but that was all for Milwaukee. The Yanks won it 3-1. World Series fever grips Milwaukee, and County Stadium is decked out to put the Indian sign on the New York Yankees. Trailing 2-1 in games, the Braves need this one to stay alive. Elston Howard facing Warren Spahn. Braves leading 4-1, 2 out in the 9th inning. The roof falls in on Milwaukee fans. Howard's homer is a 3-1 blast that ties it up. Berra and McDougal, who had singled, precede Howard across the plate and then join in the adulation for the Yanks' converted first baseman. The gloom thickened in Milwaukee when the Yanks went ahead in the 10th. But the Braves fought back. They have a runner in scoring position. With Johnny Logan up, Logan doubles to left, and Mantilla races home to knot the score. Bob Grimm is now pitching for New York. Eddie Matthews is standing in. The count goes up, so do the tensions. It's a home run from Matthews, and the Braves win the 4th game to tie up the series at 2 games apiece. The Braves also won the 5th game, 1-0, so now it's back to New York and baseball destiny.
Seventh game of the World Series, third inning. Bob Hazel on first, Johnny Logan facing Don Larson. Quebec's throw is high and Logan beats the relay to first. The Braves are on the warpath and Heath big slugger Eddie Matthews is up. Matthews doubles into the right field corner, and here comes Hazel around to score. The National League champs make it 2-0 as Logan slides in safely. Exit Larson. Enter Bobby Shantz to face Hank Aaron, series hitting star. Up the middle, the 11th hit of the series for Hank, driving in Matthews as the battling Braves bring joy to their rooters. Next up is Wes Covington, stellar left fielder. Covington also singles, and a miracle comes closer to reality. There's no tomorrow for New York. Today is for the Braves and Milwaukee. Frank Torrey at bat. On the force at second, Aaron scores, and 61,000 fans in Yankee Stadium see the end in sight. The Braves get a little insurance off Tommy Byrne in the 8th inning. Going, gone. A home run for Del Crandall, and the astounding Braves have just about clinched their first World Series. The Yanks were favored, but clutch hitting and stout-hearted pitching turned the tide. Lou Burdett's name goes on the record books, 3 series victories. Bases loaded in the 9th, but Scour and Smash is backhanded by Matthews. He steps on third, and it's all over but the tumult and the shouting. The new world's champions of baseball, the Miracle Men from Milwaukee.
I think it's time we bring the Dodgers back to Brooklyn. Bring them back. See the smiles returning to the faces. They'll be ticker tape to mark the celebration when the Dodgers come back home.
Oh, somewhere in this favored land, the sun is shining bright. The band is playing somewhere, and somewhere hearts are light. And somewhere men are laughing, and somewhere children shout. But there is no joy in Gotham. The National League's moved out. But in San Francisco, the band is playing and the flags are flying. The big city is big league for the first time, and a gala parade down Market Street bids the San Francisco Giants welcome as they open the season in their new home. An extra burst of cheers greets Willie Mays riding here with Hank Sauer. The Say Hey Kid is at home already. A parade that marks the making of baseball history. San Francisco Giants meet Los Angeles Dodgers, the West Coast's first big league baseball game ever, but incidentally a continuation of an old diamond rivalry. Old familiar faces, managers Walt Alston and Bill Rigney. And Mrs. John J. McGraw, widow of the greatest Giant of them all, who lends her prestige to the new environment. The ball game, historic and terrific. Harold Spencer homers with the Giants already ahead by 2 runs. San Francisco has something to cheer about. Final score, Giants 8, Dodgers 0. It's the 25th All-Star Game, Baltimore's first, and over 48,000 Jam Memorial Stadium. Rival managers Fred Haney and Casey Stengel swap pleasantries before the game, which sees lackluster hitting and goes into the 6th, 3-all. Pinch hitter Ted Williams at bat. No one has hit anything but singles so far. And Williams hits a roller to short. Thomas fumbles, and Malzone is safe on second. Gil McDougald next. A blooper single to center, bringing Malzone home. It turns out to be the winning run and the last hit of the game, which saw only 9 hits from the Americans and 4 for the Nationals, all singles. In the first year, the players picked their own starting lineups. Earning the crowd's cheers is Baltimore's Billy O'Dell, Baltimore's own star left-hander. He sets the National Leaguers down in order for the last 3 plays. That's Del Crandall who popped up to end the game as local boy Billy O'Dell makes good. Good news of Roy Campanella prompts a backward look at the Brooklyn Dodger catcher in action. A mighty hitter and behind the plate the mainstay of the team. 3 times voted most valuable player in the league, Campy was one of the great figures in the modern game. You who saw him in action will forget his fabulous performance when a close play at the plate was called against him. Last January, millions were grieved when Campanella was paralyzed from the neck down in an automobile accident. A multitude cheered his valiant fight for a measure of recovery. Now at New York's Institute of Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation, Roy Campanella holds his first open press conference and shows the great progress he has made in his fight against near-total paralysis.
Roy, you're looking pretty good. How do you feel?
Well, I feel as good as I look. I think I've come a long ways. Sure, it's true I can't walk, but I think I can make it without doing that even.
Campy, do your plans for the future include baseball?
Well, I've played baseball just about all my life, and I don't think I can stop now. I think, yes, I'd definitely be connected with baseball some way or the other.
The 1958 World Series gets underway with the Braves defending the first World Championship they brought to Milwaukee 1 year ago. Managers Fred Haney and Casey Stengel exchanged courtesies. And starting pitchers, Warren Spahn and Whitey Ford. With over 46,000 in the stands at Milwaukee, Moose Skowron comes up in the 4th. The game's scoreless so far, and the Moose proceeds to slam a homer for the first tally. In the bottom of the 4th, Del Crandall wraps the first pitch for a single. Pafko singles and Spahn follows with the 3rd successive hit. 3 singles add up to 2 runs, and the Braves lead. In the 5th, Ford draws a pass. Bauer comes up to cloud a long ball high into the left field bleachers. The Yankees pull ahead. After some sloppy base running earlier, they look like they're taking command. But in the 8th, a Braves rally ties it up for extra innings. Crandall at bat in the 10th. A single to put 2 men on base. Adcock's on second. Billy Bruton at bat, and he hits reliever Brian Duran's fireball for a sharp liner, good for extra bases, but a single is enough as Adcock crosses the plate with the winning run. There is jubilation in Milwaukee, redoubled on the second day when the Braves trounced the Yanks again, 13-5, for a 2 straight lead toward another World's Championship. In Milwaukee, nearly 50,000 local fans root for a repeat of last year's 7th game triumph, but in the 2nd, with Berra on first, Howard lays down a bunt. Torrey fields, but fumbles the flip to Burdett at first, runners on first and 3rd. Jerry Lumpy up next. Browns one to Torrey, who worries about Berra, throws late to first and hits the runner. Bases loaded. Next batter, Moose Skowron. The Moose grounds one to short. Lumpy is forced, but Berra scores, and the Yankees tie the score. Tony Kubek next at bat, lifting a sacrifice fly to left. Howard comes across to make the score 2-1. Turley takes the mound for the Yanks in the 3rd and holds tight till the 6th. Del Crandall smashes a 4-bagger to tie the score. It's one of only 2 hits off Turley in 6 2/3 innings of brilliant hurling. score is still tied in the 8th, 2 out, Berra at bat. Yogi lashes a double off the fence, and the Yankee rally is on the way. Nelson Howard wraps Burdett's third pitch through the center to drive Berra across with a winning run. Andy Carey is next. Hitless in 11 trips to the plate, he reaches Burdett for a scratch single, and the rally is still alive. 2 men on as Skowron comes to bat. And the Moose slams one over the left field fence to put the Yankees way out ahead, 6-2. History does not repeat itself for Lou Burdett in the 7th game of the World Series. Last year's hero is this year's loser. But the Yankees know from sad experience the Braves are always dangerous, and there's no rejoicing till the last out, which comes in the 9th after Turley has yielded only 2 hits. Red Schoendienst lifts a long fly, an easy out, and the World Series is over. For the 18th time in 24 World Series, the New York Yankees are once again the champions.
There's a place in my heart for the Duke. Don't forget to mention Pee-wee, Sandy, Johnny, and Newt. Oisk and Billy had their days. There's no place like old Ebbets Field. The bombs are aiming for the Bombers, but just wait till next year. The Subway Series is coming home.
The Chicago White Sox prepare for their annual chase of the New York Yankees under the managerial eye of Al Lopez at Tampa. Pitching is again expected to be a strong point for the Sox. Early Wynn, despite a so-so year, is a key man. Sharp left-hander Billy Pierce won 17 last year. Dick Donovan, a steady winner for years now. Sherm Lawler is one of the best catchers around, but the Sox need hitting from 19-year-old rookie Jim Collison, Al Smith if he regains his form, and Earl Torgeson. At Fort Myers, Florida, the Pittsburgh Pirates shape up as pennant contenders. Last year, they finished in 2nd place, making Danny Murtaugh Manager of the Year. In winter trading, he swapped Pirates star Frank Thomas to Cincinnati for catcher Smokey Burgess. Third baseman Don Hoke. And southpaw hurler Harvey Haddix, bringing the Pirates the depth and strength that could make them National League champions. Strongman Bob Friend is perhaps the National League's best with 22 wins last year. The Bucks boasted classy Keystone combo in Dick Groat and Bill Mazeroski. Bob Skinner is one of the best left-handed long ball hitters. And if Big Ted Kluchowski comes back, the Bucks just about have it made.
Back on the scene at Dodgerville, Vero Beach, Florida, Roy Campanella compares notes with manager Walt Alston. Campanella is back in uniform as a coaching consultant for the Los Angeles team, and his advice will doubtless be useful in helping the Dodgers climb from last season's 7th place finish, only 5 games out of the first division. They rely on regulars Johnny Podres, Sandy Koufax, Don Drysdale, Clem Levine, and other familiar faces on the roster include Junior Gilliam. Duke Snyder still a key man. And Charlie Neal. Can they pull the Dodgers into contention? At Bradenton, manager Fred Haney shepherds his National League champions on field. Spring training is in up-tempo this year. The Milwaukee Braves are hoping come fall to even their World Series score with the Yankees. 20-game winner Lou Burdett. And veteran Bob Rush should be mainstays on the mound. Johnny Logan and Felix Mantilla have to make up Red Schoendienst's absence. Batting, Wes Covington seems recovered from his injury. Solid hitting expected from Frank Torrey. Eddie Matthews with 31 homers in 58.
And Hank Aaron, 30 home runs. Plenty of power in the Braves. $35,000 fans packed Forbes Field for the All-Star Classic. It's deadlocked at 1-1 going into the bottom of the 7th with Ernie Banks coming to bat for the Nats. A long double off the left field screen to put Banks in scoring position and set off a National League rally. Two out when Milwaukee's Del Crandall comes up. He singles and Banks races home with the score. The senior circuit leads 2-1. Pirates' Bill Mazeroski driving a long one to left field, and Crandall scores, stretching the Nats' lead to 2 runs. Top of the 8th, Nellie Fox of the White Sox raps out a single for the Americans. With Kuhn on first, Fox on second, Vic Powers singles to bring in Fox. 3-2 is the score. Another walk loads the bases, and the Orioles' Gus Triendos is up. He smashes a double to score Power and Kuhn. The American Leaguers move ahead 4-3. In the bottom of the 8th, the Cards' Ken Boyer singles to center. A sacrifice by Dick Groat brings up slugging Hank Aaron for his second hit of the day to send Boyer in and to tie up the ball game again. Next, Willie Mays. A tremendous 436-foot triple off the center field wall for the Say Hey kid. Aaron crosses the plate with the tiebreaker. It's 5-4 for the Nats, all they need. In the top of the 9th, Kuhn fouls out with Fox on second and Mantle on tap, but the switcher never gets to bat. The ball game is over. The National League's 11th triumph in 26 All-Star Classics. In Cleveland's Lakefront Stadium, the moment of truth in the American League pennant race. The second-ranking Indians face the White Sox, who will clinch the flag if they win. And they're first to score. Louis Aparicio's double sends Bubba Phillips across the plate with a third-inning icebreaker. Billy Goodman wraps out another two-bagger to drive in Aparicio and give the pennant-hungry Pale Hose a 2-run lead. A rosy outlook for Chicago manager Al Lopez until, in the 9th inning, Cleveland loads the bases on 3 singles. There's only 1 out. Time for the White Sox ace troubleshooter. Pitcher Jerry Staley is sent to the mound by Lopez. The Sox' first pennant in 40 years hangs in the balance. 1 pitch ends the suspense, sharp fielding, and the Sox turn it into a double play. The White Sox dance off the field with a 4-2 victory and the pennant in the bag. Their first championship since 1919. It's joyful pandemonium in the dressing room, an exultant conclusion to a season of brilliant play by a team that was low-rated earlier as a no-hit club. The White Sox came a long way for this celebration. The World Series comes to Comiskey Park over the Chicago White Sox for the first time in 40 years. And a cheering crowd of over 48,000 is on hand for the opening of the 1959 Baseball Classic. The loyal Chi Sox partisans have waited a long time for this one. In the pregame spotlight, rival managers Walt Alston, Los Angeles Dodgers, and Al Lopez of the incredible Pale Hose. At the outset, the Sox throw away the script. Instead of their so-called powder puff attack,
They're blasting away from the start. In the first inning, L.A. pitcher Roger Craig is tagged for a sizzling single by Big Ted Kluszewski, driving in the first run. The mighty Klu at bat in the third, one man on. Norm Locker makes a desperate leap, but it's into the stands. A home run. A sensational third inning as Chicago's so-called hitless wonders roll up 7 runs, and the Dodgers help matters along with a record-tying 3 errors. Veteran Early Wynn pitched brilliantly for the Sox, holding Los Angeles scoreless. But the hero of the day was muscular Ted Kluszewski. A National League cast-off, his thundering bat delivered again and again for Chicago. This is his second homer of the day. A towering 400-foot drive into the upper deck, bringing his RBI total to 5 runs to tie a series record. Final score, 11-0. A jolting setback for the Dodgers, a sensational victory for the Sox. The largest World Series crowd ever fills the huge Los Angeles Coliseum for the first World Series game ever played on the West Coast. Over 92,000 cash customers, assuring record purses for winners and losers. Whatever the outcome, baseball history is a-making. On the field, the White Sox have the bases full, first inning. But Don Drysdale pitches himself out of trouble. Goodman grounds out, ending the inning. It's a pitching duel from there on till Hodges walks to fill the bases in the 7th. Staley is pitching. Relief for Donovan. Furillo pinch hitting. And he wraps a sharp grounder. It bounces past Aparicio for a single. 2 runs cross the plate for the Dodgers. The scoreless tie is broken. It's Sherry to the rescue for L.A. when the Sox load the sacks in the 8th with nobody out. Al Smith batting. Smith grounds to Wills, and the Dodgers squelch the rally with a double play, even though one man scores. Ice-cold Sherry does it again for the Angelenos, striking out the side in the 9th. The Dodgers, after that disastrous opening game, have roared back in this series. Maybe it's that refreshing Pacific air they breathe. In Chicago's Comiskey Park, it's the 6th game of the World Series and Chicago's last chance to keep alive hopes for their first Diamond Crown in 40 years. In the 3rd, the Dodgers' Wally Moon is walked by Chicago's mound ace, Early Wynn. And Los Angeles' next man up, Duke Snider, clubs a 1-1 pitch into the left field stand, some 400 feet distance. It's the Duke's 11th World Series homer, a National League record, and it puts the Dodgers out in front, 2-0. Fourth inning, Wynn pitching to Maury Wills, bottom of the batting order. And Wills singles to center, driving in Don Demeter from second. After Padres drives Wills home, it's Dick Donovan hurling for the Sox. Charlie Neal doubles to send Padres and Gilliam across the plate. Donovan next faces Wally Moon, and the Los Angeles fielder slams his first homer of the series into the stands. Moon's four-bagger makes the score 8-0 going into the bottom of the 4th. A gloomy prospect for the loyal Chicagoans. But hope revives as the Sox counterattack.
Mighty Ted Kluszewski blasts Padres for the ex-National Leaguer's third home run of this series, a terrific clout that drives in 3 runs. After Padres walks Al Smith, it's time for the Dodgers fireman, Ironman Larry Sherry. Bat Louis Aparicio. He pops up on Sherry's pitch, and the White Sox rally is dead. 5 innings to go, but that's the ball game and the World Series. The new champions, the Los Angeles Dodgers, a smashing 9-3 climax.
I think it's time we bring the Dodgers back to Brooklyn. Bring them back. See the smiles returning to the faces. There'll be ticker tape to mark the celebration when the Dodgers come back home.
Fans who waited 33 years since the home team's last pennant swarm into Pittsburgh's Forbes Field as the Pirates open against the New York Yankees. The Bucs' Danny Murtaugh poses with Casey Stengel, who is after his 8th series title in 10 tries. Vernon Law pitches for the Pirates. In the first inning, a jolting homer by Roger Maris is a gloomy reminder to the 38,000 Pittsburgh fanatics of the terrific momentum with which the Yankees entered this series, a 15-game winning streak. New York is in front by 1 run. But the lead soon vanishes. Bill Burton, leadoff batter for the Bucs, steals second and goes on to third as Yogi Berra's throw goes into center field. Then Dick Groat, just recovered from a fractured wrist, wraps a double into right field, and Burton trots across the plate. The score is 1-all. Bob Skinner next faces Ditmar. A sharp single scores Groat, and Skinner goes on to steal second. The Yankee defense is crumbling. Roberto Clemente comes to bat after Dick Stewart flies out. A bouncing single by Clemente into center scores Skinner, sends Ditmar to the showers, and puts the Buccaneers in the lead. 3 hits, 3 runs. And the fans go wild. Yogi Berra comes to the plate in the 4th with none out. Maris and Mantle on base. Yogi slams a tremendous drive to right center. Burton and Clemente collide on the ground, and a tremendous catch by Bill Burton saves the ball game for Pittsburgh. In the bottom of the 4th, Bill Mazeroski, 7th on the Pirates' batting order, smashes a 2-run homer over the scoreboard. And again, the fans go berserk. Elston Howard pinch hits for Ryan Duran in the 9th with 1 man on base. Here it comes. Howard wraps a home run into the right field stands for 2 runs. Pittsburgh leads 6-4 in the final score as the Pirates overcome the powerful Yankees with the same ease they vanquished the entire National League. But the Yankees' true potential was shown next day when they roared back to a shattering 16-3 victory. First game ends with Hector Lopez grounding into a double play, but the series is very much alive, shaping up as a titanic diamond battle. Highlights of the World Series. With 70,000 in the stands at Yankee Stadium for the 3rd game, Bobby Richardson is at the plate for the Bombers. He's the smallest man on the field, but he blasts out a grand slam home run.
big moment of a 6-run inning. Later, Richardson drove in his 5th and 6th runs of the game, setting a new series record as the Yankees win by a 10-0 margin and take a 1-game lead. Next day, the Pirates show unexpected spunk. Despite successive 16-3 and 10-0 defeats, they are not fazed a bit by Yankee power. Bill Burton's sensational catch chokes off a Yankee rally as the Bucks hold down the New Yorkers and even up the series tally 2 games each. In the 5th game, still at the stadium, Gil McDougald bobbles a throw from Tony Kubek, permitting Gino Cimoli to score. And Don Hoke on second, Burgess on third. Bill Mazeroski comes to bat. Mazeroski slaps a double to score Burgess and Hoke, and the Pirates lead 3-0 in the second. Pittsburgh goes on to score twice more, but the Yankees can't get an attack underway. Howard scores in the second, and in the third, Roger Maris comes up with his second homer of the series. Nearly 37,000 crowded at Pittsburgh's Forbes Field for the final game of the World Series. The day before, the Yankees had evened the games at 3-3. Now, Mantle comes to bat in the 6th, with New York trailing 4-1. And a sharp single by the switcher scores Bobby Richardson. The Pirates' ace reliever, Elroy Face, has been the Yankees' nemesis till now. Yogi Berra lofts the ball into the upper right field deck. A 3-run homer. Mantle and Kubek cross the plate ahead of Yogi, and the Yankees lead by 1 run. Two more Yankee runs in the top of the 8th, and the game looks in the bag. But the Pirates explode in the same inning. Dick Groat singles with 2 men on, and Cimoli scores. Bob Clemente dribbles a grounder to Skowron, but he beats the play at first as Bill Burton crosses the plate. It's 9-6 with 2 men on base and 2 out. Hal Smith, once a Yankee prospect, comes to bat. And he smashes the ball high over the left field wall for 3 runs. The Buccaneers move to a 9-7 lead, and the fans in Forbes Field are delirious. It's the last chance for New York now. Mantle singles, scoring Richardson and sending Dale Long to third. A bewildering play next. Berra grounds to first. Nelson tags the base, then misses Mantle on his way back from second. Mickey's safe, and the tying run is in. Bottom of the 9th, 9-all, and Bill Mazeroski comes to bat. And he clocks a tremendous blow high over the wall, winning the ball game, and the Pittsburgh Pirates win their first World Series in 35 years the hard way. Mazeroski dances through a line of backslappers the last 90 feet as Pittsburgh begins its celebration of victory in one of the most titanic struggles in baseball history.
There's a place in my heart for the Duke. Don't forget to mention Pee-wee, Sandy, Johnny, and Luke. Boys and Billy had their days. There's no place like old Levis Field. The bombs are aiming for the Bombers, but just wait till next year. The Subway Series is coming home. Think it's time Dodgers back to Brooklyn. Bring 'em back. See the smiles returning to the faces. A Dodgers symphony in fashion. When the Dodgers come back home. Now isn't it a shame and ain't it a pity? Just bring 'em back to the country's fourth largest city. Bring the Dodgers back to Brooklyn.